Okay, so hi, I'm Borja Chavarri. This is my podcast, and with me today it's, well, I guess a very good friend of mine, Stefano. Say hi.
Stefano or preposterous.
Proposers, that's a new one.
Look at my Insta. Look at that.
Okay. So, well, today we're gonna talk. I invited Stefano here to talk a little bit about the big three. If you guys don't know what the big three are, it's a term from manga and anime, which refers to the big three manga slash anime that came into the West and basically popularized manga and anime in all levels of society. They
You're gonna
are,
piss off a lot of people.
yeah,
You're gonna
it
piss
is.
off a lot of people.
Yeah, well, there's the generation. But sorry, Dragon Ball, you were cool and everything.
Oh,
But One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, they are the big three. They are the ones who revive the industry, push it into the world, and conquer everything.
immediate trigger for
Yeah.
you guys, not for me. I agree.
Well, they are the big three for our generation. So, I made Stefano because he's a huge fan of Naruto here.
One Piece.
One Piece as well. Yeah.
First, One Piece first.
Oh
One Piece
yeah.
first.
One Piece is the big.
Just like you. Just like you.
Yeah, it's the big one. But then we have Naruto, and then we have Bleach, and they basically have everything you know about many of the anime and manga you see today are inspired based around coming from there. So, talk us a little bit about what you know about them. What's your opinion about them? When did you start with
One
them?
Piece was my first anime. I didn't know what anime was. I just watched it because big stretchy guy. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was like, it's cool. Bleach was my first manga, but if I remember, Bleach was my. I didn't know. I was so confused about the order how to read. You know, when you read it for the first time, you're confused because it's backwards. So I started reading it in the comic book store. I was like 7, 6, or whatever. And they didn't have the first one, so they had the second one. So I was so confused, and then I bought it anyway, and then the rest is history. Naruto, just watched it later. Just watched it in middle school, I think. But One Piece, I've watched it since I was like born.
Oh,
I think I was like 2 years old, one and a half years old, yeah,
what
on
version?
TV.
What version did you watch? The 4 Kids or the?
It wasn't the 4 Kids one, definitely not. But it was one of those channels back in my country, whatever.
For people who don't know about it, 4 Kids was famous for getting
Trash.
not always produce trash. They produced my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, but
But
when
trash
it
for One
came
Piece.
when it came to anime licenses, they trash them. They grind them to a
Trash.
dust. I mean, God, what they did with One Piece, they nearly destroyed its chances.
Sanji with a lollipop.
We have to talk about the
4 words.
super soakers instead of guns. The
Oh.
fact that the fact
Yeah.
super soakers instead of guns is like, come on,
Like, why?
why? God, why?
Why?
It nearly destroyed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't celebrate companies going down, but when 4 Kids went down, it was a great time for animation in history. Yeah,
Bye.
and they produced my favorite Teenage Mutant Turtles
Which one?
series, the 2000 version.
I'll have to. I watched almost all of them, but I can't distinguish them anymore.
No,
Because I
yeah.
watched so many.
Oh, yeah. That one was my favorite. I watched a lot, but going back,
90s?
no, 2000s.
At least that's it. Okay.
Yeah. But going back, it's like, yeah, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, they are credited to opening the industry to the
100%.
West and to revive it in Japan. It's like,
100%.
yeah, what? So you started with Bleach, you started with One Piece. You then went to Naruto as a teenager, like so many people.
Maybe before I was a teenager. Maybe middle school. Middle
Yeah,
school.
yeah. But what sort of like attracted them to
One
you?
Piece, ever since I was a child. Oh, I've always liked, by the way, I've always liked Disney. I've always liked fantasy stuff. I've always liked anything like animation, anything like fantasy. I've always liked since I was born. So, like, I used to always watch cartoons, and I thought that was a cartoon. Obviously, you can debate it's a cartoon anyway, whatever you want to call it. And then I saw like a stretchy guy. I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's Mr. Fantastic or whatever. I was already watching the Fantastic Four, yes, by the way.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, the rest is history. I just watched it all the way through. I was like, this is really cool. Superpowers. Yeah. Anything that doesn't look real, I was fascinated by.
Well, One Piece was a very interesting take on pirates. That's
Yeah.
to be
And I
100.
love pirates too.
Oh yeah, that. Well, what kid didn't love pirates back
So
in
true.
in its day? I mean, you had Pirates of the Caribbean.
Love it. All of it.
Oh
even
yeah.
the shitty ones.
Well, I love the trilogy of Pirates of the Caribbean. The first three movies, I think they're great.
And
Maybe,
after,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
but I still like them though. They're shitty, but I still like them. Does that
Johnny.
make sense?
I love every part, every moment with Johnny Depp on them. But for me, I mean, when people say like the third one wasn't so great, it had its great moment. The fight in the maelstrom,
Yeah. Oh my god.
the wedding. I
Oh
love
my
that's
god.
probably my favorite wedding ever. I, when they are Elizabeth and Will are killing everyone while while Barbosa is trying to marry them, and
I
he ends up,
love him. I love him. He's my favorite character. I love him.
you
He's
may
just done with
you
life. I love him.
yeah you may
Literally.
you may just kiss her already.
Funny enough, I didn't know they were because technically they're British.
Um,
Technically speaking, because they're within the Britain.
they were I think they were both from like colonized Jamaica, like when Jamaica was still
But
like
the nobles that were chasing them were British, right? If
there was the East India Company, I think.
So where were they from? Or it was just
Eng-
like a.
England. It was England.
Oh,
it
okay,
was
okay.
it was they had
'Cause
to
I
make.
didn't have a concept of England when I was a kid, so I thought, oh, they're from another world.
Oh well.
Because they had those weird ass
Oh God.
hair and whatever. Okay.
Bits what I knew about England, which is top hat monocles and
Yeah, I was like, what the
people
hell?
with
These people are not.
with crooked
Yeah.
teeth drinking tea, and
Yeah,
then
no
like
offense to my English audience.
yeah, and the Queen and everything is like yeah. I mean, the culture shock coming here. Well,
Yeah, oh my god. But yeah, but so One
yeah,
Piece. Well, how
yeah.
about you? How did you get into it?
Oh
That's
God.
your favorite as well, right?
Oh yeah, it's my god all-time favorite manga comic period. It's probably
Mm-hmm.
my favorite piece of fantasy of fiction or
Okay.
my favorite. Yeah, it's
I
I think
haven't
with
met any,
Terry
but
Pratchett, it informs a lot of
I
my
need to
taste.
read those books. You need to remind me. I need
Yeah,
to read those mangoes.
that my taste as a teen, it gets informed a lot by that. It was One Piece is my Lord of the Rings. It's like
Okay.
yeah, for other people, I didn't get into Lord of the. I haven't read actually a part of the Two Towers and Return of the King.
Oh.
I've been stuck in the first book and the Hobbit. One Piece, I just found it. I started reading the manga, because the Four Kids version is like I found it like weird. It's like it was interesting, but it felt weird. And then I grabbed the manga, and started reading it. It's like, and this is all online. Sadly, it was at the time where like One Piece didn't come as a physical media to Chile. So I
Ah.
had to read it online, and it was like I just fell in love. I started reading and reading, and the sense of
Mm.
adventure, everything. I I began in Days Blue, and I just been following for the last 20 years, just following the story.
Funny enough, One Piece is the I kept up until now, but I didn't start reading it until Alabasta. I've
Wow.
always watched it, but I didn't start reading it until Alabasta.
Yeah.
Until they fought the guy with the I can't remember his name right now, but he shoots missiles from his hair and whatever. That's that specific moment. I remember it.
Missiles from his head.
He,
Oh,
he
Igaram.
was the one Ingaram. Yeah, he was
Ingaram.
taking care of Bibi.
Oh yeah, Ingaram with the bazooka. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bazookas in his hair. Igara Papa. I
Yeah,
still remember-
yeah.
I
That
still-
specific. I still remember that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start reading the manga now.
Yeah, me too. And that's
Obviously, I hold the whole manga now, but almost all.
funnily enough. For reading One Piece, I get into Naruto and I get into Bleach because it like most of the websites I managed to grab One Piece. Naruto and Bleach usually were in like the same level of most read manga.
Of course. Yeah, you go in the section like most read,
Yeah.
most popular, and then the first ones in there.
And then I got interested to them. Naruto, I enjoyed the idea of the story a lot. I didn't know it was an underdog story, or began like that. I mean, a lot of people today is like the meme is like, yeah, it wasn't an underdog story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he
It
was,
is.
but not really. I mean, the guy.
Well,
I mean, Naruto ended up.
obviously nepotism,
I mean, he's the son
but at the same time, and I'll get to it. I'm gonna hurt your feelings about Naruto. He's got nepotism, yes, and he's got like what's it called when you're like a plot device in you?
plot armor.
Plot armor. That we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But no, when you have kind of like MacGuffin, what's it called? MacGuffin, red herring. I'm throwing
Deus Ex Machina, like yeah,
Kurama.
yeah, the Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina in him, but at the same time, it is an underdog story because he was still like
But
in an apartment full with rats, like at the bottom
yeah, but
because of the third Hokage.
Oh yeah, but
Fuck him, by the way. I don't care.
the thing is like that's the thing is like the story had to change at one point because they made it overpower. He went from underpower to overpower, and that's really funny
Yeah.
because the idea that got me into Naruto, and I just kept reading it out of like interesting. The Akatsuki piqued my interest. Like there
Hmm.
were pieces that piqued my interest, but many points are like I would change the name to Sasuke, and that would be the story because it was everything about Sasuke, and it's like, come
I feel
on.
like maybe everything wasn't about Sasuke, but Sasuke was a bit. And that's another thing. Kishimoto, I'm gonna hurt your feelings again. And we were talking about it before. He's a really good artist. He's really good at world building, even though he messed up his own world building a little bit. But he's not an amazing writer, in my opinion. Like
I mean,
he's
let me.
messy with his
I will
writing.
be honest with you. At one point, I thought that Naruto was so obsessed with Sasuke
Oh my
that I wouldn't
god!
have been surprised at one point it would have been Sasuke. It would be the Naruto marrying Sasuke. It's like it would be that, and I would
Pretty
be
much,
like,
they might as well at this
I would
point.
not
They might as well
have
at this point.
suspected not being but a nice
At this
like
point, they might as well. Sasuke don't care about Sakura anyway. Go marry
yeah.
Naruto. Go get your boyfriend. Like, be honest.
Yeah, but you know the funny thing, I read it because it's like I thought the plot they was gonna follow with Naruto,
Hmm.
it was like, okay, this kid actually has a demon inside that makes him an outcast, and
Hmm.
this demon seems to be messing him. And my idea of the story where it was gonna go at one point was like, I imagine Naruto's like having a learning to control like a fire hose. It's like
Hmm.
his chakra shoots like a fire hose rather than a precision tool. So it's like I was imagining like when I see the first mass clone system and everything is like,
Hmm.
okay, so this is gonna be he cannot do technical stuff. He cannot fight in limited spaces because he cannot access his chakra in a controlled way. But when it comes to open spaces, big moments, he can actually splurge his chakra and control it a lot better.
So whenever he lost control, like, did you like it or did you not like it?
I like it because it actually showed it actually showed the demon
Would
taking
you have preferred that to continue for him to lose control?
yeah, like because it would be a fight of control over the power he has. It's like you have a demon and the demon is
I
actually
feel like
messing with you, but that's the plus. It's like you found a way to make the power of the demon work for
I
you.
actually really liked it, like when he kind of like started controlling it actually, because it was quite kind of like interesting, like with the duality and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Because remember, Kurama was very one-dimensional anyway. Kurama was like, I'll kill you all,
but that's
and I
how
was
they
like,
were sold.
But then, okay, Naruto does that thing with the talk no jutsu, the plot armor that is like, oh, you just like me,
Yeah.
come to the good side. He does that a lot.
Mhm.
But with Kurama, I think he was interesting because he was like, obviously a little bit too fast. Oh, a little bit too fast. He kind of made it an interesting character. Kurama
Hmm.
made it. He, she, it,
I don't know,
whatever the
but
hell.
it was sold as a force of nature,
Mm.
and that was actually like the interesting idea that managed to pull the force of nature. Maybe not to his side. I
Mm.
think that went a little far, but make the guy be like, okay, I don't have to like you, but
What
I am willing to work with you.
What about yeah?
But then the whole thing was like it turns out that Kurama was basically not only the most powerful of all of them, but he could do everything the other ones do. It is like,
Not better.
I mean, come on. I mean, if you just had left the guy just pure raging energy, cool. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. And I love the design of the Jinchuriki. I love the design of the Ten Tails. I get where they got the whole Kaguya concept coming, even though a lot
No,
of
I hated that.
yeah, but
I
I
hated that.
I get where it got it and didn't
That was
explain it very
terrible.
well. I mean the dark. Always this guy.
Someone said something that really made me think. The whole Kaguya nonsense, because
Mhm.
he was nonsense. They should have kept it for end the series. Go fight Madara. Maybe
Yeah,
beat him. Maybe don't beat him. End the series. Then introduce all that shit.
but the
Don't do that like while Madara, because you didn't know how to stop Madara,
yeah
and he admitted it.
yeah
So you just morph him into another villain who no one gives a shit about because he just came about. You know what I mean?
oh god it's and you just
Like,
had my guy like my guy should have died. I mean, I love the guy.
Oh, he should have died.
He should have.
This is one of my favorite characters ever.
Yeah.
He should have died.
He should have.
What's the point of keeping him around anyway?
Yeah, and imagine.
No
if
offense, okay,
but imagine if he had died weakening Madara. It would
yeah,
be like.
he would have been a legend.
It would be a
He's
legend.
still a legend, but he would have been
Yeah.
a legend. Like,
I mean-
especially in the community too.
And I love. I mean, the night. How the animated night guy in the
Incredible.
is like.
Incredible.
That thing, I was afraid that they wouldn't be able to pull it, but when I saw it animated, it was like, yeah, I am at the other end of that thing, and I will be like, kill me, you deserve it,
Pancake.
punk me. It's like
Pancake.
that thing.
That's
when-
another thing I don't like about. It's not just Naruto that does it. It's a lot of like popular shonen. Not One Piece. The One Piece is quite good at it. They undermine a lot of side characters.
Yeah,
Like, when's the last time you saw Rock Lee? Proper fight, 1v1. When's the last time you saw him?
no,
There you go.
yeah, and Rock Lee was actually
Hey,
really
sick
cool.
character, sick character.
And
Even Gara had that one fight with his father or something in the war. That's it.
Yeah, and Sakura was.
That's it.
Sakura is an interesting case as well because she
I'm gonna
gets a
hurt your
lot.
feelings again.
She gets a lot of flack and everything, but
And she deserves it.
But actually, if you actually, the funny thing is like, when you see her progress, her skill, and everything, she actually comes from a non-ninja family. She actually has a lot of skills, and she actually managed to grow to become to the level of Tsunade. And it's like she just gets thrown to the side. It's like,
I wanna explain this because sometimes people don't get it. In my opinion, people like me don't hate Sakura because she's useless. I don't think she's useless. I think she's a really good medical ninja. I think there's better taijutsu ninjas, but
yeah,
like, why could we have you when you're Rock Lee? But anyway, but we hate her because of her personality.
true.
She has a terrible personality and she's a horrible person. She gaslighted the fuck out of Naruto. Oh, I just like you. Oh, and then I love you. And you love Sasuke. Shut up. Then she was whining the whole time about Sasuke this, Sasuke that. Every single time she was like rude to Naruto. Naruto was annoying.
Yeah.
But she was always rude to him, always punching him. And it's not in a funny way like Nami does, for example.
Yeah.
Nami does it in a funny way, but you can tell she cares and you can tell she's actually an emotional person. Sakura has none of that.
No.
Sakura has none of that.
Funnily
She's a
enough,
terrible person and a horrible character. I'm sorry, I said what I said.
yeah, fair enough.
She's not
We all
useless,
have our
but-
opinions.
Horrible person.
I like when what's the name of this kid that used to follow Naruto around the
Konohamaru.
Konohamaru.
Absolute legend.
I love when Konohamaru pulls the sexy jutsu against her. That one was so. I mean,
That jutsu saved the world. Think about it. That jutsu saved the world.
Sorry, it's so.
Imagine fighting like a godlike being and you just sexy jutsu. And it worked.
Well, it
worked.
actually, yeah.
Even Sasuke was in on it.
yeah.
How did you get Sasuke to get in on it? I was like, legendary. Saving the world.
Saving the world with naked
Men
men.
naked none. Perfect.
And a great callback to the beginning where he likes the clone jutsu with by using sexy women.
Absolutely legendary.
Hey,
Absolutely.
even gods.
Even gods have weaknesses.
Yeah, even the Greek mythology to teach us something is like gods have needs as
She
well.
had a lot of children, to be fair. Makes sense.
And then we have Bleach. It's that's an interesting case. Bleach.
It's an interesting case. I
Because-
think he's always been the one in the middle, in my opinion.
And it funnily,
Not bad. Sometimes not good either. Sometimes.
Yeah, but funnily enough, I read a lot that Bleach is sort of like, in terms of story, the first arc and the power system has influenced a lot
Absolutely.
of manga.
Absolutely.
A lot of manga and
Absolutely.
anime. The fact, the Bankai as a power system, the Shikai Bankai with the swords, you can
Absolutely.
see the influence of that. I've seen it.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, Jujutsu
The main
Kaisen.
expansion.
Yeah, you can see sort of an evolution of
Kind of.
the stand system from JoJo's Bizarre
Absolutely.
Adventure.
Task Act 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read like JoJo Part 7.
Oh yeah.
That would be a spoiler. right?
Yeah, it will be. God, I
My
love.
bad, my
I
bad.
love Part 6. I think it's probably my favorite part. Even though
I
I
have
know.
my gripes with that part.
I
A little
know.
bit.
I know. I have.
That's my by the way, that's my favorite besides One Piece and JoJo are my favorite.
Yeah.
ever.
Personally, Task. It's my favorite stand. I
Okay.
love the. Well, I am a little bit nutty for cowboy stories and stuff like that. I mean, if
I
it
think that's
has
the best
knight,
part.
samurai, or cowboy, I love it.
Oh wait, you meant part 7 is your favorite, or?
And Still Bull Run.
Okay, okay. I thought you meant because you said part 6.
Yeah, is it Still Bull Run?
Still,
Is it?
Boran is 7. Part
Oh
6
wait,
is Stone Ocean with
Stone
Jonin.
Ocean. Yeah, I could.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part. Maybe I like 4. I like
I know Still Bull
5,
Run is
6.
not perfect, but I think it has a. I think it's at 3. It's one of my favorite. It was my gateway drug into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay.
Funnily enough, in JoJo's, my first introduction to the series was neither the manga nor the anime, the OVA they did.
Memes.
No, the Capcom video game.
Interesting.
The fighting game they
Interesting.
did.
Broken.
It was
Broken as game.
I couldn't. The game was
Just use
in
Pet Shop.
yeah.
Just use Pet Shop and spam.
It was in English. I think it was in English. Yeah, it was with one of these machines. They actually emulated the game, got it illegally
Yep.
somehow. It was
Yep.
chilly. I wasn't expecting to be
Yep.
the original cabinet
Broken
and
as
anything.
game.
But then finding all the secret characters. I like to play the guy who can make people younger.
Alessi.
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 Only because I wanted to see everybody's
To see everybody
youngest
when they
form.
were younger.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. That was a good touch. That was a good
Oh
touch.
yeah, it was great. It's funny that took quite a while for games, anime manga games, to get really good again. One Piece, the One Piece Odyssey. That's a one I get to. The
I need
only
to
reason
check
for
it.
me to get a PlayStation 5 is to
I need
play
to
that
check. It's
game.
like the one it's like an RPG, right?
It's an RPG and it's quite fun. It looks quite fun.
I need to check it out. I need
Yeah,
to check it out.
but going back to Bleach is like
Mhm.
Bleach had a good
lot
amount
of
of
impact.
critics.
A
It
lot of
had a
impact.
lot of impact, but it fell out of grace quite fast in relation to the other.
I feel like the problem was, but first of all, it had a really long gap.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Bleach came back like what this year?
Yeah.
After 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
basically. That's a long gap. Even if you're the big 3, that's a long gap. And also, I feel like the writing wasn't the best, just like Naruto. The writing wasn't the best sometimes. And that's why they retconned some of the stuff in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
They changed it completely, some of the stuff in the anime.
Well, they
In a
had
really
to.
good way.
Well,
though.
they had to. I read the manga to the end, and I mean the power of the big bad it's like, how can you beat that?
Like, come on,
They
man.
actually, in the manga, they actually don't beat it. It's like he just simply jumps to the end.
No, they beat him, but it was in a really bullshit way.
Yeah, it was- but-
Spoilers.
I mean, quite the way I remember is like it was so quite bullshit that they just simply jump into a happy ending.
Pretty much.
Um,
I wonder what they're gonna do now in the anime.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting because I really like the Stenridge's powers. I mean, the system
really
they have.
interesting.
They have a really interesting, and especially when you go to the big ones, which is like, and I hope I have to actually pick up because I really wanted to see how they reveal all the Stenridge powers. I just seen the fights. I like the superstar master masculine. I really like that fight.
Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick.
I like the bullshit he pulled to show the new power of
But that's the
Renji.
point. He's a hero. So what do hero do? Just bullshit the way through.
No, but I'm saying Renji when they show the new Bankai
Oh,
he has.
yeah, I don't like Renji. I'm sorry.
He was my
It's not that I don't like him, but he's
for me.
But I do like that fight.
From me, him, Sado, and
that's
Varragan, they were my favorite ones.
The design.
The design, the
Barragan has a sick design.
I'm
one of the
really-
best designs of a villain I've ever seen in my life.
I'm of the camp that is like they did him really dirty, and they did,
Yes.
and I think
Yes.
but by doing him dirty, they could actually compromise the second part because one of the things is like. The second part was a little bit a redoing of the first part. I mean, where you like it or not, it's like first is Rukia, now it's Orihime the one captured. Like there's it was a big recycle, but
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Rescue the princess. kind of
Rescue the Expression kind of thing. But the main thing for me is like, and really making me crook my eyebrow is like, okay, so Aizen actually is leading this whole thing. It's like,
Mhm. One of the best villains of all times. I don't care.
yeah, but the thing is like when I saw that is like the espadas really went down for me from there because like such a cool idea.
Mhm.
It's like they are selling you these guys as like
Mhm.
the equivalent of the captains, and
Yeah.
when I saw that he was the one on charge of the whole thing, it's like, nope,
You
they're
didn't like
gonna.
it? the
No,
espada.
I would have done it the way I would have done it is like Aizen becomes like this, becomes sort of like the advisor. He plays the espada into
Uh,
going into attacking the Shinigami and trying to take over, and then he pulls out this little guy he uses to take the powers of a what's it,
the
the fire
stone.
guy.
Oh, the fire guy.
Yamamoto, the Captain
Yamamoto. Okay,
Yamamoto,
yeah.
he also uses them to take Varagon's power because his power were overpower. He could actually destroy everything, but they make it second and it's like, sorry, you fall down for me. You could have had such an epic story. Captain should have died there. There should have been so much death and destruction. There was
So many
nothing.
people should have been there. But
But
at the end of the day, I feel like I actually think it's interesting because it's like he's a Shinigami, they're espada, and they're still taking order from him. I think I see it from the other side. I'm so strong that you have to listen to me, even though I'm not an arrancar.
yeah, but
I like that.
but,
That's power.
yeah,
I
but
like that.
but on the other side, it's like that moment is when you realize like these guys are not Captain Power. Sorry, they are not putting them.
Some of the espada were.
Yeah, but it's like you and they are against guys who actually can beat
To
the
be fair, again, bad writing.
and
Like,
they
remember
overpower.
who beat Baragan? Some random wizard,
There's
which you don't even remember the name.
there's one thing I like. It's like the fact that the blind guy, I forgot his name, the blind guy who was a captain, he
Mhm.
was actually working with Aizen, and that's the only way.
Oh,
and that
one of my favorites, Kaname Tosen.
yeah, I love that twist. That
Absolutely
twist
beautiful,
was
beautiful,
beautiful. That was
beautiful.
perfect.
Terrible Bankai,
Terrible
but,
Bankai, but great twist.
and sick character. That's how
Yeah.
you make a character.
Yeah. Well, we have to be wrapping this up. Stefano, thanks for today. Always a pleasure. Always great to talk with an expert on all these sort of things. And we'll be seeing you around. Thank you and have a good day.